All right, we're live. Go ahead and let's start by rolling for Destiny. Give me something good. Oh.
Well, you gave, it's 50-50. Everything works out.
That's funny. It's a mutual agreement right there. Gentleman's agreement. Okay, so previously on Edge of the
Dragon
Empire.
Ball Z.
You guys are on a space station that is owned by your employer, Random Tiv. He owns this Tiv Shipping Industries. You were on the ship, you rescued him and all of those diplomats, then crashed the ship because it was sabotaged, and then you got rescued by some of his patrol ships, and now they brought you back to here, and en route to here, they found out that there was somebody leaking information from this facility, and so he wants you to figure out who is leaking information. So that's the theme frame for what you're going for. And so yes, so Randy and Sally hopped over to the med bay area, and I think
I was dying.
Yeah, because you were like bleeding out everywhere.
Hey, I did a pretty good job, all things considered. I may have barfed in your wounds, but other than that, I think things went pretty well.
I'd have to agree.
Nobody died, so there's that. That's always a positive.
At least right now, you might be infected for the future, but otherwise,
I'll roll for that check later.
Yeah, a long-term resilience check. Every session, you just have to make a resilience check. Cool. Let me scroll up to the right spot. Okay, so you're trying to figure out who is the one that's leaking information on this secret project. He didn't tell you who the secret project was, or what the secret project was, but it's something pretty big. So you had 4 different suspects. Bima, who is the lead scientist in charge of Starship system integration. You had...
you had that in the chat at one point somewhere.
Oh, yes. I think I did type that in. So if you see it, that's cool. I was just running through it real quick, especially for audio listeners. Ty, he's the male. He's the lead chief scientist in charge of projects. He is been, yep. And then Kale is a leading scientist in charge of fabrication. And then Essek is a friend of Raynham, and he's the lead scientist in charge of testing. Ty helped found this Raynham's thing, so he feels like he's owed a little bit. And I think it was mostly all we had gotten info-wise from that first session, so.
Yeah.
Nima found Bima's residence with nobody around. IG found Dr. Kral with a kyber crystal. Lance and Lior got buddy-buddy with Essek. And Sally hacked the system to learn about Ty and war wounds that he was treated for periodically. So
what you want to do?
So you guys are in the medical facility and have fair run of the ship at the moment, so.
Yeah. Oh. Medical bills and leave. I do want to find Essek as soon as I can. I don't suppose that I
say we dig a moat.
Yeah, okay.
You just see me like over in the corner. Yeah. I got a shovel. You have no idea where. I'm just like.
Where did you even get the shovel?
Science, Nave. Oh wait, silence, Nave. And you just see me like with a night helmet on.
What the heck? I missed something. Not sure how we got to there.
I see you with the shovel, and the screen swaps to me, and I ask, "Where did you get the shovel?" And it swaps back to you, still shoveling. There, just there, out of nowhere. I walk up to the medical desk and assume I need to pay some kind of credits.
That's not how the future works. It's a Everyone's gets free healthcare.
Oh,
Hooray!
okay. Well, then I
Anybody on the station is just kind of covered. It's just their job to keep people alive.
Nice.
So,
It's good benefits.
yeah, yeah.
Too used to another game that I play, the game of life. Anyways,
Yep. So what do you guys want to do now that you're kind of got free reign?
Don't look at me, leader man. I'll follow you.
do we know anything about if and Essek?
Essek, yes. Leor and Lance are chatting him up out at the main bar table area.
Would it be possible for us to go there? Because there's something that I want to ask him.
Yeah, sure.
It's impossible.
I mean, since they're not here and all.
Right. No, that's. I mean, I know what they talked about, so I can make it work in. Basically, we're doing 3 separate continuous sessions, so they're like overlapping each other. So we would just add information to other things that happened. So, and
Retcon.
yeah, and my job is to basically try and make everything line up more or less where they left off, so that you'll leave off there too. But we'll see what happens.
Good job, champ.
We'll see what happens.
Okay.
So at what point in the conversation did I?
So you kind of like hang out. You come in, you see them sitting at the bar side. Lance keeps handing Essek drinks, and he's not like completely wasted at this point, but he's starting to not be entirely with it, I suppose you could say. And so they're just chatting about what Essek does, how he knows Ranum, says that they're friends. They've been friends for a while, and he really wants to see Ranum succeed at this business venture, this, that, and the other. So it's fairly early on in their conversation at this point.
I can't help but overhear that. Stop Lance from handing him another drink for a moment. I couldn't help but overhear that you hope that this next business venture for Random succeeds. We happen to be associates, as you know, with my friend Lance and Leor.
They kind of like shoot you a glance like, what are you doing here? You're interrupting our flow.
And then you just say, "Hi, guys."
Oh, hi! I didn't see you there. What's going on? No.
Overwhelmed the poor dude.
No. It's interrupted my flow.
My bad.
No, it's fine. I'm sure they'd have done the same thing. Yes. Let me pull up my notes because I actually wrote it down what I wanted
wrote
to
some
ask him.
notes. All right.
Ooh.
Yes.
Why don't actually for narrative lineality, is that a word? Lineality, straightness. For ease of narrative, let's have you shoot a text to Lance like, "Hey, if you get a chance, ask Essek, blah." That way, we're not inserting you guys into their.
Oh.
Would that work, or do you need to be an in-person connection?
I mean, not really.
What do you want to ask him? Well, and then we can work it in.
How like how this the latest experiment was going, and if anyone was either skilled or not as focused on the task as they might seem.
So whether we
I'm assuming that's what I'd have to ask Lance.
Okay. So he and Lance have this kind of like rapport going. Lance charmed the pants off of him basically, and they're like, makes it feel like Essek has known Lance for a really long time. So they're like super buddied up at this point. And so he's like, so is everybody, all on board with the projects that they're working on, this, that, and the other? And Essek's like, yeah. I mean, everyone does their job, and everyone's professional about it, and we're making progress. But some of the deadlines are just rushed too fast, and this is a really important project. If we mess things up, it looks really bad, and I'm just worried that it's not going to be finished correctly, and then we'll get the fallout, and that causes problems for Random, and I don't want to see Random fail. That's not good at all for anybody.
I thought I ended up not being the one to ask him that.
Correct. Yeah, he was talking to Lance at this point.
Oh.
So that's information that he's giving to Lance.
We'll say I walked past and heard all this going on.
Or he just flipped on, or he flipped on his comm signal so you could hear.
Okay. So I look over at Randy. I'm like, "What do you want to do, boss man?"
What kind of codes did you get last time? Or not codes, but info off that computer? Do you
What
remember?
kind of codes did I get last time?
I don't think it was codes. I think it was information.
Yeah, he got information about Ty and how he comes in on a weekly basis for an injection for something he had sustained in the war. This is Clone Wars, so he was like recently taken off of Clone War duty, and so now he's working with Random's facilities, and he comes in weekly to get an injection.
Okay, well, so maybe we should figure out where that guy is. We should see if he's in here right now for his injections.
That's good. Do you want to do probably a average computers check for me? Maverage.
That's not my.
Is my computers. I don't remember.
That's Sally. Sally's all over the computers. I feel like this dashboard used to be able to show me live chat for the stream, because I see Dustin's in chat, but it doesn't show me chat. Whatever.
There you go.
Whoa! Goodness gracious. Nice.
What did you roll?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes.
I'm good at compoopers.
Yeah, right. You can like rearrange his schedule. No. So you see that
I actually hacked into his bank account.
you see that every Tuesday he comes in and he gets an ejection of a niacin, which is a depressant for nerve pain that is administered to his left leg every Tuesday, and it lasts about a week.
So is today Tuesday?
If you flip a destiny point, it's Tuesday.
What?
Oh my god.
So you look, and Ty comes strolling down the hallway. I mean, he's got a little name tag that says Ty on it, which is why you know it's him. I guess you also had his medical records, so you saw his face. So you see him go, and he like wanders down 2 or 3 doors and ushers himself into one of the doctor office rooms and shuts the door behind him.
So I quickly put back on my doctor's gear.
I'm just gonna follow him with this. I'll find another set of doctor's gear and go in behind him.
Okay.
I'll be your nurse.
All right. Is there anyone actually trying to go into that area? Is there anyone with doctor's paperwork?
As he walked into the room, he flipped like the little signals above the door to yellow to indicate that there's somebody in the room, but the doctor hasn't been in yet, and they'll probably come past within the next minute or two to get in. But you watched him walk in and haven't seen anybody else go in, and there's no doctor immediately in the hallway.
So I look over at Randy and I go,
I
"You
look
take
over
care
at
of the
Sally.
you take care of the doctor. I got this." And then with my medical gear, I get like a clipboard that just has like random crap on it. It's like nothing relevant. Um, and then I'm just gonna walk into the room.
All right. So Sally's in the room, Ty's in the room, Randy, you're out in the hallway, and you see the doctor coming down towards the room towards you.
Did Sally flip the switch to make it to? I don't know. I'm guessing it would be a green to indicate that the doctor was in there as well as the patient or something.
Red it would be the doctor's in there as well as the patient. Green is the room is open.
Did he flip the switch?
I don't know. Ask him.
Sally, did you?
Did I notice a switch? Let's roll a D100 and find out.
What's what?
Anything above 51 and up is a yes. 50 and down is a no. No.
Too busy filling in the role. You were getting into character.
Get a good stretch in and flip the switch. Now red, right?
Red means it's in use.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you walk in and Ty's like sitting on the table, not the table, the chair. He's got his leg up and he's looking down at a data pad. Doesn't even look up at you.
Okay.
So do you say anything to him when you come in, or do you just kind of pop in?
All right. So I'm gonna look in. I'm gonna be like, "Hello, sir. It's time for your weekly shots. I see."
He looks up at an unfamiliar voice. Yeah, it is, Doc. I don't think I've met you before.
Call me Dr. Slurps. I'm relatively new to this region. I just transferred in. Your normal doctor is out today. He was called out on an emergency case.
Really? Well, okay, sure, whatever. Dr. Slumps, was it?
Slurps. If
Slurps.
sorry, it's not a very common name. Something much more native to my home planet. But get some silly comments here and there. But
Raises an eyebrow and says, doesn't bother me any. Do your thing, Doc. And goes back to his data pad.
Okay. So remind me again what we actually need from him in character.
You are trying to figure out if he's the one that's leaking information. So there's the big project that they're working on that's secret, and one of those 4 people is a leak. You're trying to figure out, is this the dude who's leaking info?
Okay. Just give me a second. I got a couple ideas for deciding on what's the best choice here.
Sure.
What's the funniest choice?
I feel like those are 2 distinct options.
They can coincide.
Maybe, yeah. Hopefully.
Okay. So, all right. So I'm gonna get in and like while I'm going through, like we'll say I'm just like looking around to find what I'm trying to get out to take the shot or whatever, and I'm just gonna small talk with them, and I'm gonna be like, so I'm gonna be like, so what have you been up to lately?
He kind of looks at his...
What have been some local... hey, I'm trying to go for some small talk. What's been some local going-ons? Trying to get to know you a little bit.
Right. He's looking at his data pad. He's like, oh, the usual. Just overseeing stuff like I do. It's my job.
What kind of stuff? And you just see, like, as, like, I make a note to pull out like a much larger than necessary needle.
Of course.
All right. Let's see. Do you want to roll anything, or do we just want to do a talkie?
I haven't gotten to the point where I'm clearly trying to do something yet.
Okay. So you're
Um,
just making small talk.
I'm making small talk and being like a little suspicious, like this isn't normal.
All right. Fair enough. So you're pulling out this large needle, and he doesn't seem interested in talking really much at the moment. So he kind of every nicety you say, he kind of like either or sure, yeah, sure, that sort of thing.
Okay, so assuming he's not paying attention, I reach over towards the door and I proceed to lock it.
Yeah, he totally doesn't notice. He's on his datapad, completely oblivious.
So I'm gonna put in. All right. So well, first let's see. While I'm looking through the cabinets, can I do a medicine check to see what kind of medicine is in the cabinets?
Yeah, sure.
What kind of check would I be looking at?
I mean, you're. What exactly are you looking for? Are you looking for a specific thing, or are you just looking to see what's in there, or?
I'm looking to see what is available. How about this?
Because I'm thinking less of a. I mean, it's a medicine knowledge sort of check, just to see. Do you know? Can you recognize what the stuff is?
I'm going to say
Maybe the medicine that Mr. Ty needs.
if I use a destiny
Okay.
to kind of give a mild Deus Ex Machina kind of scenario, can I look to see if I conveniently find something that would be making him more willing to spit the truth?
Okay. I mean, that sort of. Yeah, that might be destiny worthy.
That's why I was wondering, because I feel like that's a bit more like convenient,
Right.
so that's why I feel like a destiny would be a good.
Yeah,
thing.
I mean, there would definitely be stuff in there that would knock him out. But something that keeps him lucid and open to suggestion wouldn't normally be stock, I can't imagine. So yeah, I'd be up for that.
All right, so I'm gonna flip. All right, so what difficulty am I looking at to try to find this convenient item?
Just a 2, because you know what you're looking for.
I hate Mondays.
Got it.
Nice. All right. You notice that in like one of the back corners of the cabinet, there is some Eldrats, which is used to lower a patient's willpower. So, stat-wise, what it does is it's 2 setback to any willpower or resilience check, and if they fail the resilience check, then they go unconscious.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna slip that into this larger than necessary needle.
Very good.
At which point I attempt to open the door.
And you find that it's locked.
Indeed.
That doctor walked past you pretty much. He gave a glance at the door and like looked at his datapad and was like, I thought I was supposed to be seeing the patient today, but whatever. Somebody else has got it, obviously, and then just keeps on moving to the next room.
All right.
I just all way by myself. I just call to him. Do anything too ridiculous, please.
I make no guarantees. I'll call you when we're done. All right. So I put it in, and still like trying to like attempt at small talk, trying to act pretty natural to him. Um, and I go up and I'm like, I know you've done this many times before, but just be ready. You know it's gonna sting.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So then I let him get out like where he would typically have it shot at, but I'm gonna make sure that I shoot it like where it needs to go.
Okay.
In case it's not the same spot. I mean, you never know.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. It gets in the bloodstream one way or the other. So he's got his like leg up and turned to the side so that you can inject. It's a weekly thing, so he has a little bit of scar tissue there because he gets a needle there every week.
How long does it usually take for this medication to take effect?
Probably within 10 minutes.
Within what? How many minutes?
Less than 10, 5 minutes or so.
Okay. All right. So as I go in, I just say, just so you know, for studies, we got to make sure there's been some new adjustments in the medication, and we just want to make sure that we let you here for at least the next 5-10 minutes to make sure that you're okay, make sure that there's no sudden changes.
We haven't had to do that before. That's ridiculous.
I'm sorry. Don't blame me. It's people above. Just got to do what I got to do. You know, medical procedure. If I don't follow through, the red tape is outrageous.
Go ahead.
You know, I don't. Right. So, I guess I'll just roll another medicine check to try to apply the medication.
Yeah, and that's just an easy. I mean, you don't probably even need to roll. That's not even a rollable thing. Never mind. You get it, and there's no reason to roll. You're not gonna miss. So you inject him, and what I do want you to give me though is a willpower sort of thing. So leadership, perhaps, to basically, leadership actually makes sense because you're trying to convince him that you have the authority to tell him, no, you actually can't leave right now. I need you to stay here for 5 minutes.
I have 1 in leadership, so we'll see how this goes.
So that's against his, which is 1 yellow, 1 green.
You never know.
Look at all those destinies.
Hey, as good as I'm gonna get with with the 1 green.
Hey, you just need the 2 purples.
Oh, we didn't.
No,
Oh.
I thought we were.
Oh.
I thought we were doing a back and forth roll. Whoever gets the most positive to negative.
Oh.
It was a pretty good one.
Yeah, I mean yours is real decent.
All things considered, I wouldn't. If it wasn't for the triumph, I would be like, okay, he's not gonna be like a total douche about it, but he's gonna be like,
Right. Yeah, but with a triumph, he like stands up and begins to walk out, and you're like, excuse me, sir, and he goes to open the door and finds that it's locked, gives you a glance and unlocks the door and walks out.
Oh
And
yes,
to
my
me-
apologies. Here, let me put this away real quick. And as I'm going to put this away, I'm gonna just do a quick like quiet calm to Randy and be like, he's coming out soon. I've given him some stuff that should help him talk. It needs 5 minutes. Hail him. Get the info.
Nice.
And then I'm gonna put the needle away and I'm gonna unlock the door and I'm gonna let him out.
Okay, cool. So as soon as you unlock it, he's like standing there impatiently, like, okay, come on, I'm a busy man. Blah 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 blah.
My apologies, sir. Have a great rest of your day. Hopefully, your normal doctor will be in next week.
I hope so. And so he then opens the door and walks out.
And he bumps into Randy because I was trying to get in.
I just told you to move. I just said that he's coming out.
Yeah, he shot you a message, said, hey, he's coming out.
Okay, I'm standing at the side.
Okay.
He doesn't actually bump into me.
Let's see. 80 or above. 97.
Whoa.
All right. So as he's walking out of the door, the other doctor who's normally supposed to see him is coming out of the appointment. What? I just made you fat, Dylan. Come on.
I'm
Wait.
husky, okay?
There you go. The doctor who normally is supposed to see him is also coming out of the door at the exact same time, and they like turn and see each other, and they're like, "Hey, I thought you were called in for emergency medical meeting," and the doctor was like, "No, I came to do your normal checkup. What doctor did you see today?" And he's like, "I don't know, some weirdo."
So I quickly dash out the door, and I go, oh, and I don't know this doctor's name. I don't know what his actual name is. But oh yeah,
he's got a little name tag. You can see his name.
Okay. So doctor, whatever his name tag says. Hey, sorry, I didn't mean to confuse you there. Hey, I'm the new transfer doctor over from. I'm just gonna list a random medical academy.
Yep.
From wherever. And I was just transferred in, and they someone up above just told me to step in and try this new thing. I don't know if the communications went through properly.
Okay, give me a deception check, por favor.
This is not my forte. If only I were my bard.
Is there any way I could assist him?
Can you think of a way that you can legitimately assist him?
I know, yeah, if you can find a way for it to make sense, I'd love the assist. This is not my forte. It's better than my leadership, at least.
What did you name your doctor guy again? Doctor what?
Dr.
Schmuggle or Schmiddle or...
No, Dr. Slurp.
Yeah.
Dr. Slurp.
Finally, Dr. Slurp. I've been knocking on the door for a couple of minutes. Why didn't you answer? Sorry, doctor.
Sorry, you must be the next
this.
point.
Wait, say it again, Stan.
Short-term aid because he tends to be a little scatterbrained. And he just usually does this kind of stuff. I am so sorry, Mr. Ty. I hope he didn't do anything.
Okay, yeah, that's good. I'll give you we can do a group roll for that one. So you take whoever has the highest in deception as like the skill, and then whoever has the highest in cunning.
They're probably both him. So what happens if he's better than me in both categories?
I think it just adds his skill to your attribute. So what is your cunning?
My cunning is 2.
2. And then what's your skill in deception, Stan?
3.
So you have 3 yellows?
Yes.
Okay, so Dylan, you get 2 yellows and a green.
I'll take it. That's significantly better odds.
So that is against the doctor, who has 2 purple. Just 2 purple. Okay, cool.
I got a shot.
You got a shot at this one. Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so he looks at you, and he's like, "Well, I mean, I'm the head doctor, and somebody messed up on this one." So he's kind of miffed, but he's like, "I'll take it up with the administrator," and says, "Sorry about that, Ty. We'll see you next week." And he turns around and continues on his way. Ty continues on his way, and the crisis has been averted.
Woo! That was close. That was real close.
And then I grab Sally by the arm and just like ushering him with me, and just trying to sound irritated.
Trying to sound irritated.
I look at Randy and I tell him to tail Ty because you're much better at talking than I am, and soon he's going to be in a vulnerable state.
That's the plan.
I'm going to stay back because it's going to be weird if we're both falling, and I'm not very quiet.
As soon as we get to the nearest corner, when I'm following him.
So he heads back where he was originally coming from, so he's heading back down the hallway. He gets to the door right before entering this room. If you wanted to stop him then, now would be a good time. So he's like reaching down for the door handle.
Yes.
Touches the door handle.
Say, Mr. Ty.
He turns around and acknowledges you. Can I help you?
To say again. I am to have not been able to stop him. He is very new here. It was his checkup, even though it shouldn't have been. He was only supposed to be an orientation.
So he just kind of gives you a weird glance, like, that's okay, and turns back around to go to open the door.
Oh, one more thing.
You are trying my patience.
I'm so bad at thinking.
I mean, if you want,
like,
if
I'm
you
a
want
talker,
to,
but I can't talk.
if you want
I
to
was gonna
just
say
do a
that.
roll, that's perfectly fine. It doesn't.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are the medications taking effect by now?
I mean, they're starting to show a little bit of effect. Yeah, he's kind of got his hand to his head, like he's lightheaded a little bit, and not like woozy, but definitely not entirely with it. So, if you wanted to do like a leadership check or some sort of thing to stop him, a charm or coercion or leadership or negotiation, however you want to spin it.
Take his
I'm
wallet.
going to drop my apologetic act,
Okay.
stand up normally, and say, Mr. Random has charged us the problem that has decided to nest itself here. And we were hoping if you could cooperate with us. Will you do that?
All right. So he kind of looks at you and he's like, "Well, yeah, I guess so. What's up? Is here a good place to talk about that?" And he like
No.
gestures to the hallway.
Of course not.
Why don't you come inside my lab?
I'm
And so, yes.
yes.
Okay, so he like leads you up through this place. Some of the assistants look at you but don't say anything, and then he leads you into the next room. Dustin, quit spamming my thingamajigs. Oh, I don't think I can mute that because we're in a chat. Can I do this? Nope, that didn't do it. Somebody say something. That's what I muted. I muted the wrong one. How about I mute that one? Okay, there we go. I keep getting notifications popping up like, stop it. Stop it. Okay. All right, he brings you into his office, and he's like, so what can I do for you?
Tells us that there is a over here at his base of operations.
Sorry, you cut out there, I think, for like the most important section.
Has informed us that there may be a mole. Do you know anything about it? Anyone leaking information?
I certainly would not know anything about that. Why don't we do a roll just for the sake of assurance? Do your
Okay.
probably something, whatever you want it to be. What angle are you taking this at?
Well, I'm not trying to deceive him probably at this point.
Okay. So either a negotiation like, hey, we're kind of on the same team, let's work this out, or a leadership like, hey, I've got the authority, I need you to tell me, or a charm like, hey, I'm your friend, let's work this out. What's the tact?
Right. So I'm going to try to be his friend about this.
Okay. So you'll be charming.
All right.
So give me a charm roll versus his Oops, let me pull it back up. Probably his willpower, so 1 red, 1 green.
You mean 1 purple?
Correct, yes.
Ah.
Okay. And 2 blues. because he's under the effects of this drug. So just roll 2 natural blues. There it is.
Hey.
There's the success. Cool. Okay, so he's very lightheaded at this point, and he's like, "Do you mind if I sit down? I don't feel so well."
Sure.
So he could,
This is your room.
so he stumbles to his desk chair and kind of slouches down and looks at you. He's like, what'd you say your name was again?
Just call me.
I don't know if you're cutting out or if it takes a while for it to catch up, but I didn't hear anything there.
My name is. You can call me Regis.
Regis. Philman.
Yes.
Oh man. Who wants to be a millionaire?
I think you changed your hair. I did notice you with that head cover on. Okay, so he's like, could you grab me the that glass of water right there?
Sure.
So you grab him water and bring it over, and he's like, so you said Raynham sent you? No, I don't know anything about an information leak. Not in my department at least.
I mean, the shipping industry has a lot of things that come and go. Just saying.
Yeah. No, I can't think of what would be leaked. For outside of the game, it's their research project that's being leaked, not necessarily shipping information. So he's got a top secret research project, and that's what they're trying to find the leak on.
I know. That's why I wanted to talk to Essek. It's Lance and Leor.
Oh, I mean, all 4 of these people have connections to it, so.
I know.
Okay.
I'm just being selfish.
At least he's honest.
No shady characters have come in and out.
I mean, there's always people who are popping in and out, but I mean, I can't think of anything specifically. And he ponders for a few minutes. He's like, well, I mean, now that I think about it, do you know Bima?
Bima.
She's the lead over at the dry dock area.
Yes, I've heard of her.
She has had several visitors over the past few weeks. I think they work for the Hutts, and he kind of lowers his voice. I don't know if she's in trouble or if it's one of her sons, but she's had several gruff-looking visitors that she doesn't usually keep company with that type of person. But I mean, I'm not a spy or what's the word for somebody who watches other people?
Stalker.
Yeah, stalker or something. Yeah, sure. I'm not a busybody, so I never take too much notice. But I mean, I guess that's a little different than usual.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I can't think of anything. Are there other things that you want to try and get out of him? Dylan, if you've got any suggestions, you could comment to him.
Yes, please.
Get his
I
wallet.
am out of it.
Get his wallet.
I'm not doing that.
Check the room for any alloys that might be useful.
Wait, are you saying that on a serious note or is it a joke?
That's a joke. That's a joke.
Okay.
I mean, I won't stop you if you try.
You notice on his wall is a plaque from the Friends of the Children's Technology Club. That's hanging on the wall, so that'd probably make Sally pretty happy.
It would, wouldn't it? Well, You seem
He was a silver level donor.
at this point. Silver?
Not quite deep enough pockets for a gold level, but gave substantially to the Children's Technology Fund. I'm just messing around.
Oh.
Yeah, that has no plot relation at all.
It has significant plot bearing, and you need to think about it long and hard.
No, yeah, I was like freaking
My bad.
all of my questions. Anything new is just extreme thought.
No, Dylan's character, like, what's the motivation exactly?
Oh yeah, for like technologically like illiterate children.
Yeah, that's
or
what
something.
it is. She wants to see all children learn about technology or something like that, or whatever. Okay. Let's see. Let me see if there's any other information that he would give you. I mean, that's about all of the pertinent information at the moment for him.
I was kind of figuring, which is why I was things to ask him.
Right. No. The only other thing that you notice is he seems to be pretty self-assured of himself. Kind of, he's always got the answer and he's always right. So you just kind of pick that up, the vibe, as you talk with him.
Well, I mean, it's true.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of is. All right, I pour him another glass of water, and I say, "Look like you need it," and I leave.
And as you're closing the door, he's like falling asleep on in his chair. So let's roll. Stan, since you're the last one there, go ahead and give me a D100. If it is 95 or above, somebody notices he's missing and checks on him. All right. Clean getaway. Effects of the drug wear off before anybody notices. And anything's happened.
That would be so unlucky.
Right?
I rolled a
Oh,
97 last time.
You did.
So that would have triggered it, but... Okay, cool.
It's cool working from my
Yeah, so there you go.
perception skills.
So...
I saved you twice now,
What?
Sally.
Oh.
Hey,
Sally twice.
you were able to get more info out of him because I drugged him.
Yes. Well, I don't play a save. I don't know.
Because you're
Probably-
always right.
Exactly. Okay,
Probably would have got
cool.
folded. I don't know.
So while he was hanging out with Ty, what were you up to, Sally?
We'll just say I was using my my doctor's disguise to just nonchalantly kind of go around and like look at paperwork and stuff that's not like too hard to get to, so it's not like kind of suspicious,
Right.
but still.
All right, cool.
Still some paperwork.
Let me see here. Give me a D100. Let's see if you find anything of interest. 91. As you are wandering around, wow, that's like the perfect thematic roll. A dose of neuroparalytic. So, like, just sitting out on one of the like push carts in the hallway, you notice that there's a neuroparalytic vial sitting there, and you're like, no one will notice if I just slip that in my fish pocket.
Do I even have pockets? That's the real question here.
All right. Or you like pop off a pendant on your necklace and stick on the neurolytic so that it's just like jewelry or whatever.
All right.
So you've got
I'm gonna
you've got a
have
dose of neuroparalytic.
All right. So I don't even know how to spell that. Neurotero. I think I might have got it.
Just like it sounds. Okay. Cool.
I'm gonna totally forget about that for pretty much forever.
Yeah, I am gonna try and be better at occasionally checking people's sheets and being like, hey, I see they have X or whatever. I should see if there's a way we can incorporate that into the story. But we'll see if it happens.
Oh, maybe I could have bribed him with an Old Republic credit.
Hmm.
I've had that since the beginning of
Yeah,
this character.
Had that for a while.
Yeah, got 5 of them.
Well, it's probably not been super long, maybe 2 hours at this point, at most. So you've got a lot of time to kill before the next narrative thing happens. So if you want to go
Play space chess.
wander around, or if you just like want to hang out and like go back to your room and whatever, you could do that and text and find out what information Lance and Lior have about Essek. I could probably give that to you at this point. So they've been talking with Essek for a while, and gotten him pretty nicely drunked up. And Essek's been worried about the project that they're working on and the ramifications that it has, that it's dangerous to people. And if somebody finds out just how dangerous it is, then things could really backfire for Random Tiv's entire corporation. Essek has stock in the corporation, so he'd like to see it succeed, and he's just a good friend with Random, and he doesn't want to see it fail. So that's that info. Nima at this point has seen some random thugs hanging around Bima's house apartment area, but she's not been back in hours and hours, so I think that's pretty much everything that everyone knows at this point.
Nima hasn't seen Bima?
Correct. Bima has not been back to her house.
Oh boy.
What
Anything
do you think,
about why
boss
I
man?
might be able to find her? Did he?
What was that?
I never said anything about me that Bima. Did he?
I didn't catch like any of that, sorry.
Did I say anything about probably find Bima?
You keep cutting out at like the exact same point. Did you hear any of that?
Anything about? Yeah, it's like, did you hear anything about? And it's just silent.
Yeah. Like all 2 or 3 times that you tried, it cuts out of that exact point. I see him typing. Did Ty say anything about where I might be able to find Bima? Ah, good. She is usually works from around the dock area. So I mean that would be a good place to check initially.
All right.
To the
Let's
docks.
go, Sally. We're gonna go to the docks.
So that's like number 1-ish area, next to Jerry the Rhodian.
I thought he was Jerry the Roadie.
Jerry the Roadie, yeah. I just misspelled Rhodian. Oh, there's 2 number 1s. I didn't see that.
Oh.
Number 1 with all the ships. Dylan's like, Randy's like, meet me at the docks. Sally shows up and there's like nothing. What kind of cruel trick are they playing on me?
guys.
So you're like hanging around the docks and there's a dock worker and he's got a little name tag that says Jerry, and there's a security guard who is kind of like leaning against the bulkhead and just kind of looks at the crate, makes sure that there's the correct packaging on it and waves it by and that sort of thing. And they don't acknowledge you as you walk up because people are coming in and going, and there's private vehicles parked at this area, so it's not uncommon for people to show up. But Bima is not there.
By there, you mean like
In that vicinity, in that area. She's not around the docks. You do like a walk around. Bima's not there.
I'm gonna go up to Jerry and ask him, what was I gonna ask him?
Who am I?
Hey!
What am I doing here? Oh, gee. I really need to start these conversations with the actual line.
Details.
Well,
I'm
you
gonna go up to Jerry and just stand there.
you just walk up to him. Mm-hmm. Nice box you're carrying. Mm-hmm. I'm never gonna get a girlfriend, am I?
Ask him, is everyone, like, is this the only level 1 docking area that's in use most of the time?
Yeah, this is the one that is used. We'll get some commercial lines in at the other dock, but everyone's private vehicles and a lot of stock stuff comes in here. Why? Did you forget where you parked? Gives you like a little wink face. Got him. Been working on that one for 2 weeks.
No, I don't actually own a ship.
Okay. Did you miss a ride, or how'd you get here?
I was,
He's not like prying for information. He's like trying to be friendly. Like, can I help you get off the station, or do you need connections to a freighter, or what's?
No, I am looking for someone.
Oh, okay. Somebody who works here, somebody who's parked here.
Somebody who in here, say, but maybe somewhere else in this facility.
Could you be a little more vague, please? Gotcha. Winks again.
Someone who works somewhere in this quadrant. I don't know.
Well, he pulls up his inventory sheet, and he's like, someone in the quadrant. So like filter by quadrant location, and like flips it around, and there's like literally 14,392 people on the filter list. Do you got any more specifics I can search by?
Does he wear glasses? Let's just play a game of guess who's here. Knock him down.
20 questions. Let's go. Help me out here, Sally.
Woo! You think I'm good at this stuff? All right. So, all right. So
you be the words and I be the demeanor.
This is a requirement of being a face character.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Dylan is good at the role playing, but his character is not built to interact with people this time.
Nope.
I suck at the role playing. I know. I get it.
That's not a. It's, yeah, it's not a big deal.
All right. So
have my moments.
put me up to speed because I like half spaced out. So what's going on?
All right. So Harry here, such a comedian. I'm trying to ask him. He knows where Bima is.
But you've not actually said the name Bima, right?
Until just now, I brought it up with Sally here.
Right.
I just needed that emotional support.
Okay, so as Sally walks up, you're like explaining it to him, and then it's when you say Bima's name.
What?
So are you explaining that in game to Bima, or were you explaining that to Dylan? Okay. So, so,
Indeed.
so as soon as you say about Bima, Jerry's like, oh, Bima, why didn't you just say so? Yeah, she's the boss. She left about probably 2 standard hours ago at this point.
All
Where'd
right.
she go?
I think that she was working in the linen shop this evening. She works like all of the time. If you know Bima, you know a worker, right? That's what I always say. Winky, gotcha. And
Give him finger guns.
yep. So he's like, I think she said she was running linens this evening.
All right.
So that's like 8 is the commercially area.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. Can I get a general direction of where that is?
Yep, in the middle of the facilities. You'll
Right
you'll
here.
find her. There's
So I go over to Randy and I say, "Let's go get him, lady killer." Start slithering away.
Thank you, Jerry.
always happy to help. Let me.
One of my more awkward moments. I was trying to scoot around it without being.
Yeah, I knew what you were trying to do. All right,
Sometimes direct is the best approach.
let's do this and then
The
that.
last time I try indirect, I swear.
that, and then that. Okay. So
Oh, gee. Where'd they go?
they are still there. They're just out of the way. Actually, they're maybe not there anymore. Mr. Keebler's probably there, but the rest of them went back to Essex House
Oh,
apartment.
what happened to your face?
Oh yeah, we lost all of his stuff. Can we do this? Can we do that? I can't do it. That's all right.
Just to walk up to someone. What happened to your face? Smooth.
Jeez.
All right, so Bima's like you look around and you see the clothing shop, and they're like trying to be all hip and trendy, and it's a shop A.
Shop A.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and so there's an older lady sitting in the shop doing her thing.
Now, I don't actually want to talk with Bima. Basically, all I wanted to do was just tail her and see if there was anything suspicious with her. Since I'd known that Eva's been staring at her front door for hours.
All right. So I mean, the only thing that's weird is she worked a full shift at the docks, and now she's working at a tailoring shop, which she goes from like being the lead dock scientist and things coming in and things going out person to just like a lady who works at a tailoring shop. And Jerry like made it sound like she gets odd jobs all the time anyways, because he was like trying to figure out, all right, so which one did she say she was at today? So somebody who has a pretty prominent position also just works odd jobs. So that doesn't exactly line up. So that's some helpful information. But that's about all you get from just like watching. She just works hard and
So
she's
she does like tailoring or whatever.
at
So
the
that's,
at
like,
the
her-
moment, yeah, that's the other thing she's doing. Right now that's what she's doing. Yes.
Okay, so I go up and I go, "Oh, hey, excuse me. I heard this is where I can get some tailoring done."
Yep, you know it, right here on the station. We're the spot. What can we do for
So
you?
I'd love to get a well nice like cover for my slug tail. And so I'm gonna make an order, but I'm just gonna kind of like shoot the breeze,
Mm-hmm.
kind of just give a little bit of small talk, since I'm not good at big talk. And
I'm just not good at talk.
and I'm going to just kind of like I'm gonna secretly just kind of observe her as she's kind of doing her thing.
Okay.
Kind of look around, see if there's anything of note while she's doing her thing.
So you order a tail cover and are waiting for her to work on it. Is that the idea?
Yep. Yeah. So I'm just gonna hire her services.
Okay. If you want to give me a perception check of like two
8
two
purple.
purple and a red.
Ooh.
I don't know what I would ever use a despair for here, but
Wait, who's making this check?
The leather is poisonous. Durner.
Who's making this check?
Sally is perception checking while just kind of hanging around the shop looking at stuff.
All right, so 2 purple and a red versus my 2 green.
Oh man. Oh, the despair.
It's finally happened. What's gonna happen, Steve?
Didn't
Oh my
didn't
God.
I just say I have no idea what I would use a despair for? Okay, so you're like looking around at
I get stabbed in the eyes with scissors.
at the store and the things that are around there, and she's working on your tail cover, and you notice her purse is sitting there, and so you kind of slither on over to the counter. You're like, and you look around, and she doesn't seem to be watching you, and so you stick your fin hand in the one side and fin hand in the other side, and open it up, and you're kind of like poking your head around inside, and
Pepper spray.
and you're like looking, and you're trying to find, is there anything in here? And you like pull your head out, and like the camera pans back, and she's just kind of like standing there, like right next to you, watching, and you're like, hi.
I
So
look at her straight in the face and I go, I don't regret any of my actions.
so she chases you out of the shop. She's like, out, out, out. I see what you're trying to do here. Not having it.
Just
I ought to report you to the authorities.
am I still in my doctor's outfit, by the way?
You tell me.
Oh my God.
We're gonna say yes. And I'm gonna like go into the bathroom, and then I'm gonna come out and I'm gonna like be in my normal clothes, but I'm gonna have a mustache.
The bathroom of the linen shop. Or just the.
She will never.
She'll
know.
never know.
I got like a mustache and sunglasses.
My husband. I mean,
Into you.
yeah. There's been weirder things, Stan. Okay, so she chases you out. She was not having it.
Well, I tried.
Yeah. Worth a try. So it's starting to get late, I suppose, at this point. So you head back to 7, which is like the living areas, and you've got a room assigned to you from random. So you go and like go to your room. Sally's a girl, I imagine, right?
Yeah.
So
Sally's a
so you're
girl.
probably roommates with
She's a smexy lady.
Nima's mom. But Nima's mom is not there. I don't think. I'm assuming not. I don't know.
Probably still staring at.
They don't play till
Steam.
Thursday, so you might come back and wake up and be like, "Oh, there is a person in my room."
That's not the first time.
Yeah. So you go back to your room, and you like hang out and go to sleep. And in the morning, you've got like your comm is like flashing, and it's flashing, and it's flashing, and like groggily reach over and you look at the comm, and it's from Lance, and there's like a text message, like 15 missed messages, and it's all like, guys, we got a problem. Someone has been murdered. You need to catch up with us ASAP. Guys, hello, guys, is anybody listening to us? And they're just like message after message after message after
We all
message.
sleep with our phones on silent.
Yep. So,
I was. Can I say I was tailing Bima still?
I mean, I guess you may have been.
That's all I did, anyways. I didn't interact.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Did you want to tail Bima then all night? So if you
Yes, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
okay, so you wait around. So let's rewind. So you're waiting around, and finally at like 1 a.m, Bima begins to close up the shop and head back to her apartment. And she's like looking over her shoulders and kind of hurrying down the hallways. Choo, 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 choo. So you keep up with her, I'm assuming. Let's do a give me a stealth roll to see how well you can follow her without her noticing. So her stealth, or your stealth versus her perception.
All right.
She has got a perception of 1 yellow and 2 green. So 1 red and 2 purple.
Oh, jeez.
I'm gonna upgrade it because I can. So 2 red and 1 purple.
Just why not?
All right.
Nothing.
Could have been worse.
So, you end up catching her, like, you see her slip back into her room, but with the threat and no success, you really don't see any other pertinent information other than her slipping back into her house.
Do I see Mom there?
Sure. I don't know. Nima's not gone yet, but I'm assuming you could have maybe saw her, or maybe she passed the job of trailing Brima off to you. That's probably what makes sense.
Yeah, that would actually. All right. Well, I'll probably just go sneak onto my room since it's super late.
Okay.
You better give us a stealth check so that you don't wake up your roommate.
I don't even know who my roommate is.
That doesn't really matter.
Turns out to be like the final boss.
All right. So in the morning, like I said, they come and like, hey, somebody's dead. You need to be here. And so, long story short, Bima, down in the laboratory where the prototype was being researched, is found dead. She has been shot pretty point blank in the chest, and she's like slumped over some crates. And the prototype item is missing. The prototype item, as Lance and Leor relay, is a transporter device. But the problem with the transporter is that it's like it like kills the person and then just reconstructs them somewhere else. So it's not actually transporting, it's like a duplicating machine, more or less. And Essek is like super worried that if somebody found that out, then that would be bad. But it would also be worth a lot of money because transportation technology is like not a thing really in Star Wars at the moment. So, Bima is dead,
Oh boy.
hunched over this box. And go.
And go.
And
And
Well, I slept in stubbornly for like another 20 minutes.
you like look at all the
because-
text. Not my problem.
5 more minutes.
oh jeez. So she went from next likely suspect to somebody murdered her.
to probably not
in
the suspect.
Last 7 hours.
Correct.
Unless she faked her own death.
Oh!
Yeah. All right. This situation be something to save for all of us to be here, or what?
I'm trying to remember where we ended with. Let me look at my notes because I actually made notes because I was like, I need to make sure I get this straight. Where did we end? Dustin and So Lior and Lance found the body with a blaster. The camera in the room was shot out. So, like, there's a figure in the doorframe, and it shoots the camera out. They had helped Essek back into their apartment, and he was super drunk that evening. Jerry the Rhodian had checked the room for the droid to complete delivery before, so he was sent by Bima to check that room. And so he did that after he got done with his shift, at I don't remember what time I said, 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning. So he did that, and he was the last person in the room before they found Bima this morning. Dustin picked up alloy, something rare that's expensive, to hand off to you, Sally. And Essek had a meeting with Ty scheduled to give him information about the dangers of this device. I guess maybe that's just where we left it. So, yeah, that might be where we are. Okay. Cool.
Next time on Star Wars Edge of the Empire.
All right. Any other questions or thoughts that you have before we wrap it up? Or are we pretty much good?
I think it's General Custard with the candle in the game room.
If only I had known.
Well, we already
stayed
know
chilling
2 of the
the entire
3,
day.
but General Custard's a good option. That's a good option. I'm going to say that the candle in the game room is probably wrong, since it's Bima in the office with the blaster.
That's what they want you to do.
But okay, cool. More information has been gotten. We will see you on Thursday, probably late, for the next session. See ya. Thanks. Bye.